mentioned essentially talking back to Eric Adams on social media, and I'm curious how, especially with the pandemic, and we've been more online than ever, how has social media affected your policy making and sort of like your view and your campaigning?
I like social media for one reason. And only no. I like it for one reason. I like it because I have a lot of friends that are in the disability community, and for some that were immune compromised, they were able to communicate and have conversations with me still at a time where it was very scary. And you have different groups that may not have been given a platform if it wasn't for social media, right? You can look on social media and hear very nuanced conversations about trans policy from trans people. If social media didn't exist right now, we'd have a bunch of cisgender people on television telling us about their points of view about it. So social media does give a platform, but it's not enough. To me, I would like to see these voices move into like bigger realms on television, on streaming. I think that there's a limit to social media. But I do like it because I think that if you follow the right people that are experts in their, in their profession, or you get to listen to their lived experience, to me, social media can be very powerful. But I wouldn't use it necessarily to judge how I'm going to go about a piece of policy. I would say that. It's there to me to kind of like listen and hear what people are kind of going through. The pandemic, it was a little bit of a lifesaver in the fact that we could all stay in touch with each other in that way. But I also think it's time for us to move a little bit off of social media and go back and making real connections with people in real life in that way.
I have one thing. Do we want to open it up really fast to see if anyone from the group wants to ask a question? Are y'all down? Does anyone? Yeah. I think without a mic is fine. We're also filming y'all, so just active set everyone, BTS. But yeah, go for it.
Well, I arrived a little late, and watching you speak, I'm having an outer body experience right now. And I just want to know how we can volunteer for your campaign and actively help you change the world.
Oh, well, I thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Well, one of the things, and I said this to somebody earlier, one of the ways that you can just help in general, it's not even about helping me. I always say to people that like, this is really not about me at all. It's really about the 776,000 people that live in my district and the 8 million people that live in New York. What would really help me, all of you, is if you saw yourself maybe going into a position of legislation, or if you saw yourself advising people on legislation, or I don't know. I want my campaign, if anything, to inspire people to move into those positions as well. It doesn't have to be forever. It could just be for 2 years or 1 year. It could be community board. It could be, I'm the chairman of my neighborhood advisory board. I have like 100,000 people, constituents that way. I was appointed by my city councilwoman. We allocate federal funds that way. I get paid for that. I just do it. So I would say the way you can help is figuring out ways that you yourself can kind of step into power. That would make me feel really, really good. So you can also just go to my website and check it out. Give $1.
There's a question.
Oh yeah.
How do you feel about marijuana legalization on a federal level?
Should have been legalized a long time ago. It's ridiculous. It should be moved off of the class one. And right now, you're still people. How has New York made it legal and the federal hasn't? It's absolutely absurd. I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you said it, I was just like, yes, of course. I mean, literally, one of the things that, the fact that I honestly don't like any drugs being classified in a way that you can get arrested. Because a wonderful psychologist said a long time ago, the reason why a lot of people would maybe abuse drugs would be because they're trying to feel well, And so to me, if it's beyond recreation, right, why are we still moving into this punitive frame with anything that that's a drug? Because to me, the emphasis should be on treatment, on wellness, on or if you don't want treatment, right? If, you know, because we finally in Harlem have a place where if you use heroin, you can go there and do it safely, and they'll make sure you don't overdose and you can leave. How is this something that's controversial? I mean, we're adults. I mean, I'm exhausted by this idea. We already know that the war on drugs was a failure and that was racist to begin with. I do think that we have an administration that is interested in finally moving it from declassifying it from one off of from one to, I don't know what they're trying to do. Maybe they want to make it a misdemeanor. I mean, we still have a very uptight federal level. But what's hypocritical about it is we have people like John Bonner, who used to be in Congress, who's making money off of it right now. So we have like Republicans that are investing in marijuana stocks, right? They're ready to pounce. And even in New York, where it's like decriminalized, what's happening here? We're taxing it to such a degree that anyone that does want to get into the business, it's going to be very hard for them to even make a profit in the way that we do, like people do in Colorado. So I want us to stop having these really ridiculous, hypocritical conversations about drug use, right? Because, like, for example, what's happening with fentanyl. Because people are dying from fentanyl because we have all of these red tapes around it, so we can't do things to protect people from it. We've seen people accidentally die from it, like Michael Kay and Philip Seymour Hoffman, who accidentally overdosed. These are people that didn't want to die. These were accidental because there's a stigma. I'm really tired of any stigmas. I'm tired of stigmas with sex work. I'm tired of stigmas with drug use. I'm done with it. I want our country to mature and recognize about how adults currently actually. Okay.